very big welcome once again to Penax TV, your home of quality. Nothing but the best we give you on this particular platform. Just 2 days ago, the ECOWAS, that's Economic Community of West African States, that we call ECOWAS, which comprises over 50 nations here in West Africa, they have gone into an agreement. And this particular agreement or this particular decision that they will be taking is going to affect Africa, and particularly West Africa, and particularly again the countries in West Africa. Now, what am I talking about? We all know that the Economic Community of West African States, which is made up of over 15 West African countries, Ghana, Benin, Togo, Cameroon, all the countries, all of these countries, they've actually been thinking about how they can actually improve Africa, especially West Africa, our economy, our trade, our infrastructure, technology, and everything. And one of the ways that they've been thinking that could pioneer this particular course is introducing a one single currency. So for the past 5 years, we've been hearing it. They are planning. It will be coming into effect. They've been talking, and finally, they have finally signed the bond to negotiate this particular bill, which will be coming to Africa. Now, in details, the leaders of the 15 West African nations, they've been calling for many reforms and a whole lot of infrastructure development and trade. So they wanted always to have a one currency. But then finally, a statement issued just this particular Saturday, at the end of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS summit in Nigeria's capital Abuja. The leaders said they have adopted ECO as the name of the planned currency. Now, this particular ECO, somebody will ask, what is ECO? ECOWAS means Economic Community of West African States. ECO means Economic Community of. So let's say instead of them using ECOWAS as the currency, they've adopted just the first three alphabetical digits or initials of ECOWAS, ECO, as our currency. So this particular thing will come into effect January 2020, which means that immediately this particular year ends, next year, Ghana, we are not going to be using CEDI again. In this CEDI, a trim 2020, we are going to get a new currency in Ghana. And this particular currency is not just in Ghana, it will be in Abuja, it will be in Benin, Togo, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. All the West African states, the 15 West African states will have one currency. The name of this particular currency is ECO. Now, you realize that this particular West Africa, our population alone is almost 400 million people. Nigeria alone has almost half of that, because Nigeria has over 200 million population. But the other nations like Ghana, Benin, Togo, our small population, when you add up to it, it gives you a total of 400 million people. So 400 million people are actually going to use this currency. So far, we don't know how the governments of Ghana, government of Nigeria will actually roll out the system. But as I'm talking to you now, the Bank of Ghana, the Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Ivory Coast, the Bank of Benin, they are actually bringing in more effort to put measures in place. So immediately, somewhere from September, they will start telling people, like what we did way back in 2007 when Ghana, we were changing our currency. They will start educating people. So right now we are changing our currency. So maybe 1 CEDI equals to 1 ECO, or 1 CEDI equals to 10 ECO. And I think personally this can help. But then Al Jazeera asked somebody that, all of these things are going on. In fact, let's look at even the ECOWAS chairman, whose name is Mahamadou Issoufou. He said he's very optimistic that this is going to help. But then they quiz somebody that, do you think that what ECOWAS is doing is going to solve their problems? Do you think that what they are doing is even going to help them economically, politically, and even in trade? When they asked this person, the person said, he believes that, they know what they are doing, but then he doesn't think, he said this on Al Jazeera. He said that he knows that this particular thing can help. It's actually an initiative that they've adopted, talking about the West African states. But he doesn't believe it's going to solve our problems. Because if we really want to solve our problems, then it has to start from home. This was what the expert analyst, who is a very expert in economic situations, that was what he said when he was interviewed at Al Jazeera concerning this particular move by Ghana, by West Africa as a whole. So currently, 8 countries: Benin, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Niger, Senegal, all of them, Togo, all of them use CFA francs, while the other 7, Cape Verde, Gambia, Guinea, Nigeria, have their own currencies. But now all these particular 15 countries, 15 West African countries, we are going to spend one currency. What do you think about it? Are you ready for a new currency? What do you think about it? Let us know what you think. My views are that it can help, but you see, a dollar was not made in a day. It took time. So even if Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Cape Verde, all of us, if you are not putting in much efforts and measures in terms of trade, infrastructure, and stopping corruption, where one man takes all, ECO will just come and it will be a disaster on top of all the cake. It will be a disaster on top of the cake. Unless, of course, we put in right measures. Because if one man gets, or inflation will go high. And when inflation goes high, there's a problem. When inflation comes down, deflation, there's a problem. So the thin line is staying in the middle. Can we do that? Are you ready for ECO 2020? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Once again, if you are new here, please kindly subscribe to Pinox TV on YouTube. We'll give you more updates. Thank you very much for watching.
My colleagues, let me again reiterate my deep appreciation for the confidence placed on me to lead our sub-regional organization as chair of the authority during the last 1 year. I sincerely thank you for the valuable support extended to me throughout the period. I acknowledge and commend the giant strides made by ECOWAS in this regard. I also commend our individual and collective efforts towards the promotion of good governance, peace, stability, and social-economic development in our sub-region. The overall appreciable progress we have made, particularly in the field of political governance, our sub-region continues to face considerable security challenges. We are all witness to the recurring incidents of inter-communal clashes, herders farmers conflicts, banditry and terrorist attacks in all our countries. These threats, you will agree with me, have consequences on the peaceful coexistence between our communities and peoples, as well as their livelihoods. These arrests also undermine all our efforts in achieving full regional integration. It is therefore necessary that we act collectively to end this menace in the interest of regional stability and well-being of our people. Let me offer, on behalf of all of us, our sincere sympathies and condolences to the families of the victims of terrorist attacks, banditry, and inter-communal clashes perpetrated by some misguided elements in our societies. We shall not relent in our efforts to protect our peace-loving people and their properties while vigorously sustaining the war against terrorism and criminality. I will conclude my remarks by wishing us fruitful deliberations. I hereby declare open the 55th Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. I thank you for your attention.